In the golden age of comedy, when the world was craving originality and raw, unfiltered talent, a luminous force emerged. A woman whose voice, wit, and fearless presence would redefine the art of satire. Laraine Newman, an original cast member of Saturday Night Live, wasn't just another comedian. She was a revolutionary, a chameleon of characters, a woman who could slip into any persona and make the world laugh, gasp, and think. Born in Los Angeles, Laraine was a child of the West Coast, surrounded by the shimmering allure of Hollywood, but drawn to something more daring, more subversive. From a young age, she was enchanted by the boundless possibilities of performance, an explorer in the universe of voices, expressions, and emotions. While other children played pretend, Laraine lived and breathed transformation, honing her craft in ways few could even comprehend. Her journey took her to the world-renowned comedy troupe, The Groundlings, where she became a master of improvisation, crafting characters so vivid and real that they leaped off the stage and into the audience's imagination. There, she met like-minded souls, comedians, misfits, visionaries, who, like her, were destined to shape the future of comedy. It was this training ground that sharpened her instincts and gave her the weaponry she would later wield as a comedy icon. Then came the moment that would change her life and the landscape of television forever. In 1975, a bold, risky, and entirely unpredictable show was about to take flight: Saturday Night Live. It wasn't just a sketch show. It was a movement, a revolution, a challenge to everything conventional comedy had been, and Laraine Newman was there at its genesis, standing shoulder to shoulder with the titans of humor: Dan Aykroyd, John Belushi, Gilda Radner, Chevy Chase, and Jane Curtin. Together, they weren't just actors, they were architects of an entirely new comedic language. Lorraine's performances on SNL were nothing short of mesmerizing. She was an artist who could disappear into her characters so completely that audiences sometimes forgot who she truly was. From the high-strung, fast-talking Valley Girl to the surreal and unsettling creations of her own imagination, every character she touched turned to comedic gold. She wasn't just playing a role, she was embodying it, breathing life into it, making it immortal. But her story doesn't stop there. While many may remember her from the iconic SNL era, Lorraine's career has spanned far beyond the confines of late-night television. Her voice has become one of the most recognized in animation, shaping beloved characters in projects ranging from The Fairly OddParents to Finding Nemo, Minions, and beyond. She has lent her talent to radio, film, and an endless array of voiceover performances that have delighted generations. Yet, beyond the accolades and the applause, Laraine Newman is more than her career. She is a woman of boundless creativity, resilience, and an unquenchable thirst for storytelling. She has seen the heights of fame and the turbulence of Hollywood, but has always remained true to herself, an artist first, always searching for new ways to make people laugh, think, and feel. Laraine Newman is not just a comedian. She is a force, an innovator, a legend. She is the voice in the darkness that makes you chuckle when you least expect it, the presence that makes you nostalgic for a time when comedy was raw, rebellious, and thrillingly unpredictable. And even now, decades after she first stepped onto the stage, she continues to shine, because true brilliance, like Laraine herself, never fades. The laughter she once mastered so effortlessly, the characters she embodied with boundless energy, and the whimsical voices that filled the air with mirth, all of it, at times, felt like a disguise, a shimmering mask concealing the sorrow that had long taken root within Laraine Newman's heart. To the world, she was a comedian, a woman of wit and charm, but behind the stage lights and the applause lay an ache so deep, so unrelenting, that even the brightest spotlight could not erase its shadow. Lorraine's childhood had been a quiet tempest, a world where love often felt distant and fractured. Born into privilege, yes, but not all wealth is measured in currency. Her parents' expectations were heavy chains around her delicate frame, demanding perfection where she longed for warmth. She was the girl who yearned for tenderness, for reassurance, for a place where she could simply be. Instead, she often felt like a guest in her own life, drifting through the cold corridors of a home that echoed with unspoken disappointments. Her sadness was an invisible companion, whispering in the spaces between words left unsaid. The stage became both her refuge and her battleground. Comedy was a gift, a sword she wielded against the melancholy that threatened to consume her. With every sketch, every character, she built a fortress, hoping to keep the sorrow at bay. But even the loudest laughter could not deafen the pain that lurked beneath. Love, when it came, promised salvation, but delivered its own kind of heartbreak. Marriage, an institution she had once imagined as a haven, became a landscape riddled with cracks. The weight of expectations, the push and pull of two souls growing apart rather than together, made the very concept of love feel fragile. She had envisioned a partnership of unwavering devotion, yet what she often found was distance, an unbridgeable gap between what she needed and what reality provided. And then there were her children. Oh, how fiercely she loved them, how desperately she wanted to give them the stability, the tenderness that had so often eluded her. But love, even the purest kind, comes with its own fears. Were they happy? Did they feel seen? Had she given them enough, or had her own wounds made her blind to theirs? She watched them grow, saw the echoes of herself in their struggles, and wondered if history had a cruel way of repeating itself. Loneliness was not just the absence of company, it was the chasm within, the longing for something unnamed. The nights stretched long, the silence of an empty room pressing against her chest like an unbearable weight. She had lived so much, seen so much, made people laugh until they cried. But who was there to hold her when the tears fell for reasons she could not always explain? Still, Laraine Newman carried on. She woke up each day, put one foot in front of the other, and played her part, not just on screen, but in life. She loved, even when love felt like an uphill climb. She laughed, even when sadness sat heavy in her bones. She mothered, even when doubt whispered cruelly in her ear. Because that's what survivors do. They endure, they ache, they hope. Perhaps the most profound truth of her existence was this: sorrow and joy were not enemies but lifelong companions. And in the spaces between them, Laraine Newman continued to live, to feel, to be, beautifully, heartbreakingly human. A star beyond the spotlight, the unparalleled brilliance of Laraine Newman. In the grand tapestry of American comedy, few names shimmer with the quiet yet undeniable brilliance of Laraine Newman. A founding member of Saturday Night Live, she was one of the visionaries who laid the foundation of modern sketch comedy. But beyond the laughter, the clever wordplay, and the unforgettable characters, there exists a woman whose heart beats with an artistic passion that has colored generations of entertainment. Laraine Newman is more than just a comedian. She is a storyteller, a trailblazer, and an artist whose talents extend far beyond the stage. Her voice has breathed life into countless beloved animated characters, enchanting audiences young and old with a versatility that is nothing short of remarkable. Through the magic of her performance, she has turned words on a page into vibrant personalities that feel as real as our closest friends. Yet, in the glittering world of Hollywood, where fame is fleeting and adulation is often conditional, true admiration should stem not only from talent, but from authenticity. Lorraine's journey is one of resilience, reinvention, and a deep love for the craft. From her earliest days in the famed comedy troupe The Groundlings, to her rise on SNL and her continued success in voice acting, she has proven time and again that passion and perseverance carve the deepest legacy. But beyond the accolades and the applause, Laraine is a human being, one who has navigated life's highs and lows with humor, grace, and an unwavering dedication to her art. She has given us laughter, and in return, we should offer her the recognition, respect, and heartfelt appreciation she so richly deserves. To honor Laraine Newman is to celebrate not just her career, but the indelible mark she has left on comedy, animation, and storytelling itself. Let us cherish the voices that have shaped our joy, the performances that have defined eras, and the artists who have given themselves to the craft with an unyielding spirit. Laraine Newman is not just a performer, she is a legend whose light will never fade. Let us love, honor, and empathize with her, as she has given us so much to treasure.